Okay, there we go. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ooh, let's send this all the way back. There we go. This is my presentation on my leadership professional development plan. And my name is Thomas Smith. And the overview of what I'm going to be going over is my philosophy of leadership, leadership in action, and my continued growth as an RA. And we'll get into the sources. So part one, philosophy of leadership. So what does my leadership look like, right? So to begin with, like the approach that I kind of more go to that we talked about in the EDSA class, I'm definitely more towards like the behavioral approach, where the Ohio State study in 1994 that actually proved, or that came up with this approach, proved that successful teams are led by people who not only care about the end goal, but also their people, right? And that's kind of what I kind of believe and more pertain to, right? Because I like my basic philosophy of leadership is that you have a group and you have a person that's over this group who is the voice for the group, who's making decisions for the group and basically leading them to success, right? And is the main contributor of making sure the group is happy and they get what they want while also completing the mission. And that's really what I think leadership is, right? And just kind of being there for all of their followers. So we, in our class, we also talked about the Clifton Strength Finders test, right? And so you see my two biggest strengths. You got significance and empathy. Significance is I just want to make a big impact in whatever I do. Empathy is I'm able to put myself in other people's shoes and see life from their perspective, right? And so then you take that with the owl. I'm a collaborating owl, which we figured out from the 5 conflict management activity that we did. So as a leader, I can put myself in other people's shoes. I want to make a big impact in my job. So like I want to make sure that I'm there for everyone. I want to make sure everyone is doing fine, especially like with me being an RA. I want to make sure everyone is not super stressed out. Everyone knows how to manage their time. Everyone is doing well in their classes, right? And that's really just how I want to be as a leader, right? And so like as an owl, like whenever I'm dealing with conflict, I want to make sure all the relationships are saved. Everyone's goals are still obtainable, but like if you have 2 people and they're arguing a bunch and kind of making sure there's a consensus that is brought between them. But yeah, and doing all this while not sacrificing the end goal, right? The end goal of having like a safe floor, right? While also keeping every resident happy. And so what's the importance of maintaining congruence as a leader? So congruence is basically what you say and what you do and making sure they match. And as a leader, that is so very, very important because having congruence of self is like, it's like while you're being a leader, like, I'm going to hold myself to the same standards as everyone else. And so, I won't like just walk around without a mask on and then expect my residents to wear them. Like that's ridiculous because it's not okay. And it's kind of like almost like I'm abusing my power. And treating everyone the same is part of it. Everyone will have a different identity wheel, and treating people the same regardless of what identities they will have will be a crucial part of my success with my community. So just don't treat anyone differently. Everyone's on the same floor, pun intended, and so everyone's kind of in the same boat, right? And so just kind of treating everyone with respect, everyone treating the same way, and just being congruent with every single person that I talk to. And so yeah, so now we will get into the second part, leadership in action, right? So steps I will take as a leader to build a healthy community. And so you kind of first off, in what ways will I as a leader build a common purpose, collaborate and deal with controversy with civility, right? So controversy, let's assume 2 roommates don't like each other, right? Immediately immediately I'm going to be able to talk to them, right, and treat them professionally with respect, right? Because obviously, like the things that give respect, you get respect. So I'm not going to pick sides. I'm just kind of go there and try to figure out the middle ground, see what the deal is about, and try to make these people, go like, they're coming to college, they're trying to grow as people themselves, and so try to walk into that situation with that mindset of, hey, you have an issue, but let's not run from it. Let's try to work together and try to find a common ground between these two people. And so with that, and if I do that with a lot of my residents, obviously not everyone's going to have an issue, but just kind of have that overall vibe throughout the floor, there's going to be a common purpose of really making yourself a better person and be a better person than the person that came to Clemson, if that makes sense. So really just trying to make everyone grow to be the best person they can possibly be. And also I just want to make it known that I'm not just going to be there, as their RA to like end their fun, but I'm also going to be able to protect, I'm there to protect everyone's safety. Like these rules weren't put in place for just for the fun of it. Like they were put in there for reasons because X, Y, and Z happened because that rule wasn't in place before. And so, so basically want to make everyone know what's expected of them. So like with these rules, I'll have these rules posted on bulletin boards, right? And just kind of like hand them out and send them out in a group me that I would love to create, and just have everyone in and just say, hey, these are the rules you need to follow. And if you don't follow them, these are the consequences. Just make it really straightforward with all my residents, because then there's complete transparency. So they're not going to be caught off guard by something if, something may happen. And so, like, what are some specific action steps that you plan to take as a leader? Again, like I said, 100% document, write down all my rules, share it with everyone, share all the consequences that will happen, and share it through a GroupMe. So within the first week and a half, go talk to all my residents and try to try to get them all in the GroupMe and just kind of send all that information so everyone's on the same page. How will I guide my community through the stages of formation? So, try to treat everyone as a team, right? Starting off trying to treat everyone as individuals is, kind of how it's going to start off, because no one's going to know each other, but trying to form relationships, like trying to form bonds, like, and whether that's sending a message to the group, hey, I'm playing spike ball, who wants to play? Or, hey, I brought a volleyball, who wants to play volleyball, and trying to get these people to know each other and trying to make it to where we don't have like some chaos community where people love being at Clemson. They understand the implications of like all these classes they're taking, but they don't have any trust with anyone else that they're living with. So all of a sudden you just have this kind of like, I don't know, this floor where no one knows each other. No one really wants to talk to each other, but they just kind of feel like they're in the right place, but there's no trust with any other person to talk to. And so like whenever I like talk to all these residents, right? Because obviously I'm going to be learning how to like identify their strengths and weaknesses, and you kind of guide my groups through these like various stages. It'll be really important for me to know the strengths and weaknesses of the people that I am going to be, I'm going to be the resident assistant over, right? And whether that be someone just has bad time management, or they might have struggled in chemistry in high school, and trying to get them, say, hey, here's PAL sessions. They're going to be really helpful to you, or telling them, hey, if one of the best things you can probably do is study like previous exams, or like, hey, for time management, I bought a calendar the first month I was in college. It was the best decision I ever made. And so trying to figure out people's strengths and weaknesses, and like, I might know someone on the floor who's like stupid smart in chemistry. I can be like, hey, if you want to go over and say hi to this guy, he's really good in chemistry, and he said that he's more than willing to help anyone. So if you want to go just talk to him, go say hi, and really just kind of make a community where everyone trusts each other. Everyone kind of feels like they belong in the shoe boxes because of just how much of a wholesome and welcoming community I will make for them. And so creating an inclusive community. So like, how will I support like diverse identities and lead to an inclusive community? And kind of like, what resources at Clemson can I provide to my residents? So Resources wise, clubs, getting clubs, go join different clubs. Because the best thing you can do in college is meet new people with new perspectives and talk to them. And so, I mean, like literally any club you join, there's going to be people from different backgrounds. I mean, like there, you might join a spike ball club, you might join, you might join a club for your religion, you might do this or that. You're going to meet people that, regardless of what you do, they're going to have different opinions from you. And just meeting new people and really talking is what's going to be the best thing for my residents. So I'm really going to push that. Like, hey, if you have free time and you're finding yourself having a lot of free time, join a club, get out there, meet new people, because that's the best thing you can do in college, especially your freshman year, right? And so just kind of pointing that out, like a lot of these residents, they're going to be coming from different backgrounds and wildly different identities. And so the easiest way to support all these different ideas is simply treat each other in the same way with respect too, right? And so especially like if you have someone who might struggle with their identity, right? And as you can see with the guy with the big question mark on his face, some people might not know who they are just yet whenever they get to Clemson. I'm going to treat everyone with respect, and because it is so important, because the last thing I want for one of my residents is for them to not feel accepted on their floor. Yeah, and so also like probably one of the best like activities I did for this is like the assumption activity where we did like the 4 different people, right? Because I feel like a really big thing that will be important for me, like growing a community like this, is really showing people and showing my residents that you can't really judge a person, because you might talk to someone for 1 second and then all of a sudden you have all these assumptions based around this person, and of course that's no good. That's not what you want. And so really just kind of getting to know these people, so you don't have to make all these assumptions. Also, I'm not going to stand for like any type of microaggressions. So in the group me, I'll make sure to like ask, hey, DM me if you have any issues with any person, and I'll be more than happy to go and deal with them and talk to them. Because of course, dealing with those as soon as possible will be the best situation for me. Part 3, continued growth. How my growth as a leader will continue. So basically, what are you passionate about as a leader at after Clemson University? If all goes well with ROTC, I'll be an Air Force officer, and so that'll be a perfect opportunity for me to still meet people with all these different diverse ideas and trying to create the most healthy environment I can. Because the last thing I want for any of the people that I'm going to be leading is that they feel uncomfortable with really being accepted for who they are. And so really just kind of pushing that idea that I don't care who you are, I'm going to respect you either way, and it doesn't matter who you are, I'm there for you, I'm there to help you. Regarding social change, what are you committed to making better in society? People will talk to someone for 2 seconds, make 2 million assumptions about them. And so I want to work with my residents on understanding that everyone has a different story, and that the story is, why they became the person that they are. And there are reasons to why they hold like, X, Y, and Z views. And so to think of them because think less of them because they have a certain views is no way okay. And trying to push that. What are some of the root causes of this issue? You take these people, most of them have been born and raised in the same place, right? They haven't met a lot of people. And so whenever they come to college, that's really the big thing you do, especially the first month, is you just meet a whole bunch of different people. And so it's like one of the most wonderful things about college is you'll be able to meet all these different identities. And so that's kind of like the root cause, is just they haven't been exposed to enough people yet. What are some steps that you can get to like spark this change? Get them to know each other. Easy. Just get people to meet other people, and if they have something in common, if they both like to play soccer, both like to play spike ball, maybe like the same video game, maybe they both are really passionate about art, get them to know each other so they can talk while they do this thing they're both really passionate about. And then before you know it, they're going to really learn a whole bunch about something they didn't know a whole bunch. You're going to learn a whole bunch about an identity that they did not know a whole lot about. And so are some pitfalls I may encounter. You know, some people might just be shy and not want to meet a lot of people, you know, and that's perfectly okay. You know, everyone's different, but try to make sure that they still get the same, you know, the same exposure that everyone else gets, you know, and maybe I might be one of the only people that talk to them, but if I can still like kind of allow them to open their eyes up a little bit more, then I would consider that a job well done. So yeah, just really just dealing with people who might be a little shy. It's probably the only thing I can think of. And how will your leadership style support you in achieving change and personal goals? So my leadership style, taking the behavioral approach and acting with my OWL conflict management style, will serve really as an amazing tool to bridge the gap between my residents who do not share my identities. I'm quite an outgoing person, so using that, right, to get my residents to meet each other by doing various activities, whether that just be like chilling, eating lunch, playing video games. So getting them to like just meet all these people is really going to be like the forefront of my focus as a resident. How will you continue to support your own growth and learning as a leader? So I know I have a lot to learn, even whenever I'm going to be 96 years old. I'm still going to have a lot to learn, and I'll never going to drop that mindset. And so I'll never stop learning, and I'll take specific lessons from all encounters, and I will go through, you know, like every encounter I go through, I'm going to take experiences from it, right? You know, I'll take SMART goals. So like, let's say like the first experience I have walking around the shoe boxes at 2 a.m. and I see someone who has alcohol poisoning and they're puking their guts out, right? The first time that happens, I'm gonna have no idea what to do, right? But afterwards, like trying to make a SMART goal, like, hey, have a specific goal of, hey, next time I'm walking around at like 2 a.m., right? And I see someone that's in danger from alcohol poisoning, right? Because it's going to be like a big issue that I'm probably going to deal with, especially hearing all the stories about the shoe boxes. Is that, hey, you know, maybe next time on my walk, I carry around a water bottle, and the first thing I do is I give someone a water bottle to start drinking water whenever they're puking their guts out, right? Measurable. Next time I do it, you know, next time I see the issue, that's whenever I would do it. So just do it the next time. Attainable, easily attainable at the shoe boxes. Relevant. Yeah, it would definitely be relevant in my job. Just being able to, again, help out as many people as I can. And just kind of trying to be there for everyone. And time-based, just whenever it can occur, whenever it happens, next time I go to my watch, make sure to carry a water bottle, because who knows what situation I'll be put in. And yeah, so, and that will kind of like allow me to grow and take the most I can out of my experiences. Here are my sources. And yeah, that ends my briefing. I know I have gone over quite a bit of time. I am incredibly sorry. There's just so much information to cover. I assume you might be watching this at 2 times speed. I don't judge you for that. But yeah, I just hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. And so yeah, thank you.